Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm going to be doing a review. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off. It sounds off to me. I don't know if it sounds off to everyone else. I've had coughing issues. I was coughing all weekend. Anyway, let's just get started on this review. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Dragon's Blade, The Reborn King by Michael R. Miller. I was sent this book by the author for review, but I don't think that in any way has affected the way that I enjoyed this book. So yes, I just want to say straight off the back that I genuinely really enjoyed this book. So in this book, we follow our main character, Darnweir, and basically in this world, all of the dragons have, after some kind of transformation, they've all taken like a human-esque form, and Darnweir is the prince of dragons, and after some kind of really dramatic thing happens, the only way to save Darnweir is through a rebirthing spell. So he becomes a baby again, and he just like kind of starts fresh, and it all leads up to him coming of age, at which point he can reclaim the dragon's blade, which is the blade of the dragon kings, and he is the only one who is rightfully able to wield it. And with that blade, he can hopefully fight off the demons that are attacking the entire world. So just straight off, I want to say I don't read a lot of high or epic fantasy. It's a genre I enjoy, but it has to be a really specific book for me to really get at it and really appreciate what I'm reading, because sometimes I feel like I don't get into those stories as much. But with that being said, this is one of those high fantasy books that I really actually enjoyed reading. I initially wasn't quite sold. The beginning I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I'm pretty sure this guy is our main character and I don't like him at all. But as the book continued forward and I saw where the plot was going to be going and I saw what was going to be done with the characters, I appreciated it a lot more, and that really helped me to get into this world. So I also really thought that the magic system within this book was interesting, which is so weird. It's like I can hear the booktube speaking through me, because I've got to admit, before booktube, I probably wouldn't have considered magic systems something to think about. It was just kind of there, but I found myself really aware of it when I was reading this book, and I feel that that is through booktube that I am becoming more aware of that. But I really enjoyed the magic system in this book. I thought it was really well explained. I thought that you understood the basics of it very, very quickly, and it introduced you to the idea of that magic system quickly. So throughout the rest of the book, whenever it was referenced, I felt like I very much understood what was happening, and I thought it was interesting and sort of different, and I really appreciated that. I also really liked the world building in general with this book. I liked the way that the different races that we've seen throughout different epic fantasy books, you know, wizards, dragons, fairies, trolls, were present, but they were a little bit different. There was a little something special about them, which I appreciated. The only thing that I had kind of an issue with world building wise was the fact that dragons are now in human form. I feel like I would have been really confused had I not already read the back of the book multiple times and had to explain the concept of this book multiple times to you guys before I read it. It was just introduced really slowly, and it wasn't introduced quite in a way that I felt like people who hadn't read the back of the book, who went in blind, I feel like they would have been like, wait, are they dragons? Are they humans? I don't understand. Why are they being referred to as dragons? So I wish that that would have been explained a little bit more, because if you read the back of the book, then, you know, you kind of get it, but if you didn't read that, I feel like you would have been a little bit confused going in, because it takes a while to really explain why these dragons look like humans. So that was really my main world building issue. So now I want to talk about characters. I actually really liked almost every single character in this book. Initially, Darnweir didn't really get me. I didn't really like him, but he kind of pulled me over to his side, and by the end I was kind of like, oh, I get you, I understand what's happening with you, and I was rooting for him, which was really great. I also really liked Brackenden, who is the wizard. I thought he was really interesting. I really liked Cosmo, and I really liked Cassandra and Kymethra. Those were kind of the people I enjoyed the most reading about. I do have to say that my least favorite character is a character named Eve, and my main problem with her is that I feel like she wasn't really a fleshed out character, and that she was kind of only there to create tension between other male characters, so I didn't love that. I just felt like she came across as a plot device for the men, which is an issue that I really have with female characters, because I'm very passionate about my female characters, especially within fantasy. so I wasn't totally sold on the female characters until Cassandra and Kymethra kind of appeared, and they really helped because I felt like they were both really interesting and really different and really strong, and so they helped make up for the fact that I really didn't like Eve at all. My request going forward into new books would be more Cassandra and like a ton of chapters about Kymethra's backstory, because I think that she has like the most interesting possible backstory, and I really want to know more about her, and I feel like I knew the least about her through this book. I know that she's in no way like a main character. She's a side character, but she was the most interesting side character. And overall, this book just really got me with a few plot twists I legitimately didn't see coming, which is nice. There were some that by the end I got there and I was kind of like, yeah, I figured that out a while ago, but, you know, but some of the stuff that happened, I was kind of like, whoa, I actually had no idea that was coming, and I really appreciated that I was just, even though this was reminiscent of some other epic fantasy I have read, I appreciated that it managed to shock me. And, overall, this book did definitely end on a kind of cliffhanger kind of thing. It didn't resolve itself. There was definitely a lot more that had to be covered, and characters that were left in a perilous situation, so I would definitely read another book if it came out, which is really good. I think that it's a really strong point about a book if I finish it and I turn the last page and I go, wait, but I wanted more. Because it ended and I was definitely like, oh, there's another book. There's got to be more to it, because it didn't resolve itself and it clearly left itself open for a future book, so that you could read more about this world. As with any self-published book, there were a couple of formatting issues, just a couple, nothing to like distract you overwhelmingly, but that definitely did happen. There were a few instances where stuff wasn't italicized or a character would be swapped or something, so every now and then that would happen, but it just like didn't bug me. I just kind of like corrected it in my brain, and moved on. Perhaps that is like the editor within me that I can just kind of go, okay, well, that's what that should look like, and move on with my life, because it really didn't bother me that much. But there you go, that is your warning going in. It's at the end more than the beginning. There's just some stuff where you're like, I think that should be italicized, I'm not sure, I think that was a thought and not just a narration. But yes, overall, I felt that this was a really interesting book, definitely a very thrilling one. It was fast-paced, there was a lot of action, and the action I feel like was written fairly well, and I would definitely recommend it to people who enjoy high fantasy. I wound up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely read a sequel were there ever to be one in existence. Okay guys, there you go. That is my spoiler-free review for the Dragon's Blade The Reborn King. I hope that you enjoyed it. I highly recommend that you check it out. I think it's definitely worth reading if you enjoy fantasy. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!